My brother suddenly texted. My phone buzzed just after midnight. A single message. Don't go. It was from my brother. I frowned, staring at the words glowing against the dark screen. Then another message arrived, almost immediately, as if he could feel my hesitation from miles away. I was returning from a business trip. Just trust me. Stay away. Stay away from what? I typed back, fingers cold, my pulse drumming against my throat. Why? What's wrong? No reply. Only those words hanging there, weighty, unexplainable. My brother was not the type to panic. He was the opposite of me, measured, logical, unwilling to dramatize. For him to send those words, for him to insist, meant something was wrong, something bigger than he could write. I should have listened. I should have stayed home. Instead, I grabbed my keys. I drove straight to his house, headlights slicing through the empty road like a scalpel through flesh. My thoughts spun in loops, his voice, his urgency, the strangeness of it all. When I reached his home, he was waiting at the door. His face was pale, drawn tight. No words, just a motion of his hand, pulling me inside. He locked the door behind me. Then, in the silence of his living room, he whispered, "Your kids," and pressed play on a video. The footage flickered on screen. At first, nothing unusual. My wife, my children, laughter, background noise. Then another figure entered the frame, a man. His hand brushed her shoulder in a way that made my stomach twist. My wife didn't recoil. She leaned into it, smiled. The recording shifted, another angle, another day. My children sitting with him, as though he belonged there, as though he was part of them. I heard my own breath catch in my throat. Not from shock, not entirely. It was recognition, the subtle familiarity of betrayal. Somewhere deep inside me, I had already suspected. I had ignored the late nights, the guarded phone calls, the sudden warmth she gave to someone else, but not to me. My brother's hand was on my shoulder now, steadying me. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. The silence between us was heavier than words. "Why are you showing me this?" My voice sounded flat, mechanical, as though it belonged to someone else. He didn't answer. He just let the recording play until there was no space left for denial. I felt the room shrinking. My children's laughter echoed from the speakers, but it wasn't mine they were laughing with. It wasn't me. That man, that stranger, and yet not a stranger at all. The next days passed like glass under my feet, every step careful, every smile forced. I spoke to her as usual, ate dinner at the same table, watched her serve food to the children, her hand brushing against mine casually, unknowingly. She thought nothing was wrong. Inside, my mind burned with quiet calculation. Outside, I was composed. At work, I pulled favors, accessed phone records, message logs. A friend at the clinic helped me arrange DNA testing. A brush of hair from a comb, a toothbrush sealed in a plastic bag. Small, unnoticed thefts in the night. Every detail was an incision. Every discovery was a cut deeper into the truth. I began to notice patterns, how the man appeared in places she said she never went, how she left traces of his presence on receipts, in photos half hidden on her phone. My brother didn't ask for updates. He knew I was unraveling it in silence. That was our way. Each night, lying beside her, I stared at the ceiling. Her breathing slow, steady, untroubled. Mine sharp, controlled. My thoughts sliced clean through the illusions she had built around me. I didn't confront, not yet. I wanted the truth in my hands, hard, undeniable, impossible to twist. And when the results finally came back, I held the envelope for hours before opening it. My fingers didn't shake. My heart didn't race. I already knew. The report was clinical, detached, no emotion, only numbers and percentages. The child I thought was mine wasn't. I read the lines twice, then a third time. Each time, the words cut the same. At dinner that night, I set the envelope on the table between us. She looked at it, then at me, forced a smile. "What's this?" I said nothing. She opened it, unfolded the paper. I watched her face change, confusion, then dread, then silence. Her lips parted, a word forming, a lie. I cut it off before it left her mouth. "Don't." That was all I said. Just one word, cold, final. She broke. Tears filled her eyes, spilling, trembling down her cheeks. She reached for me, but I leaned back, untouched. Her sobbing filled the room, but I felt nothing. Not anger, not grief, only clarity. The next morning I dressed as usual, prepared breakfast for the children, kissed their foreheads gently, one by one. Then I turned to her. Her eyes were swollen, her body slumped against the chair. She hadn't slept. I set my phone on the table, screen unlocked, a message ready to send. Not to her, to him. She froze when she saw the name. "No, please," I pressed send. Within seconds his phone vibrated in the next room. The color drained from her face. I had known all along. He wasn't a stranger. He was someone close, someone she never thought I'd suspect. And now she realized I had set the trap from the very beginning. She wasn't just discovered, she was cornered. I stood, collected my keys. Calm, deliberate. "You'll explain it to them," I said quietly, nodding toward the children, "not me." Then I walked out, leaving her in the silence of her own ruin. The air outside was sharp, almost cleansing. For the first time in months, maybe years, my lungs filled without heaviness. Betrayal wasn't a wound anymore. It was a weapon, one I had turned back on her with precision. I didn't need revenge in flames. I wanted her to live with the ashes. As I drove away, the phone buzzed again. A message from my brother. "Are you okay?" I typed back. "I'm free." And for the first time, I meant it. I hadn't lost a family that night. I had buried a lie.